And here we should be. Everything looks good. Let me just stab in. And there we go. Audio should be fine, but let me just double check. Yes, that looks good. New dev server, new update. And as usual, I am going to look at the naval stuff first. But I do not mind deviating once you're done with that. Now, where do we begin? Where do we begin? Let's just go over all the new vehicles, I guess, and we'll start with the Americans. With the Alaska. Hello there. It does indeed come after a Pittsburgh like I was expecting it to. And with the Alaska, we can also see another new thing. The new maximum BR of 7.0. More about BR stuff later, but I'm just going to go after the new ships first. Yeah, Alaska. We did have a dev server on her. But we should really be taking a closer look. What do we want to look at? Armament. As we can see, tons and tons of anti-air. Quadruple Bofors absolutely everywhere. Lots of 20s. Yeah. Lots. 14 quadruple Bofors mounts. That's a lot. I can't test sell the Alaska, sadly, because I do not have Pittsburgh. But I think you can imagine what that kind of anti-air does look like. Armor, what's the belt? 228. That's the upper belt at least. Largest mounted belt. And at what? Does it go all the way to the waterline? Pretty much. Like at the waterline, this is 177, but then above it is just 228. 260 millimeters of what you call it, bulkhead, probably. So it doesn't look too bad at first glance. Our bets are 330, 279. Turrets front are 335, pretty nice. But it doesn't really matter since you can just break the barrels. And there's some armor bugs as well, I see, with just some floating. Yeah, those armors are supposed to be like behind the guns here, but they're just not. Oh, what is that? Ah, that's like the back wall of the barbettes, isn't it? Yeah. Tubular guns. I mean, this is tubular guns. No, more like oh, how do you say fire? It's not pentuple, is it? Yeah. Armor deck 35 millimeters. Not that it really does anything. Let's go the entire length for the ship. Some protection for the steering gear. Always nice. What's the X-ray? Steering gear. Ooh, that is shell room above the waterline, isn't it? Where's the main magazines? Ah, there. Ooh. I think that magazine is just barely at the waterline. Yeah. Looks like it's just about at the waterline. Quintuple, that's right. Quintuple, not pentuple. Quintuple. 2 scout planes, because why not? Bunch of thick, sophisticated tracking systems. What is all of this? Nothing too special. Oh, the fire rate though. I did see in the dev stream that like the aced crew reload speed is 25 seconds, which is a bit slower than I think. What I've heard. I think the Alaska was able to do 3 rounds a minute. It's like a 20-second reload. Other than that, I don't really immediately see anything bad of it. Of course, one problem is you cannot shoot forwards. That is one thing I noticed in the dev block. You cannot shoot these guns that straight forwards, especially at closer range. So you have to show some kind of angle. I think even for that turret you have to angle like this. Because then you have these 20 mils that are in the way. Just checking if my stream is actually keeping up. Let me just reload the page. I haven't got an overall the ship yet. Just give me a moment. I'm just looking externally. I'm getting to the shells soon. Yeah. Nice secondaries, but of course the secondaries also make for more ammo to that, more crew to get killed by HE shells. Now modifications. What do we have? We have two. That's the 5-inch guns. We all know the 5-inch guns. That we have 12-inch AP. The HE shell. 35 kilos of TNT. 35 kilos of TNT, 68 mils of pen. Let's compare that to the obvious comparison, the Kronstadt. Yep, that's what I want to press. I wanted to look at modification. It's quite a fair bit less. Here, look at other comparable dreadnoughts, maybe. Of course, the World War I dreadnoughts, so maybe not the fairest of comparison. This is a bit better than Helgoland's, like base fuse HE. And of course, you also have ships like Colossus with much higher HE value. I think it's low filler for the caliber. Very low filler. The reload rate again is 24-25 seconds with an aced crew. That's what I saw on the dev stream, at least. I can't actually look at it because I don't have it crewed. That's any other ships too, I think, Trick. Let me check if I look at, for example, Cleveland. Oh no, it doesn't. Oh, that's a pain. Yeah, because you could always just... Pittsburgh is a bad example. Brooklyn kind of works, I guess. Yeah, because you could always just like research whatever you want, then nab the anti-air VT shell and then be done with it. I think Cleveland is probably is the best example for it, because you could just ignore the sap shell, go straight to the VT. This is doing weird stuff, god damn it. I don't know what's happening. Can you all still hear me and see me? Oh god, I'll have to have my Discord see if anything's up. I don't know what's going on either. But you're all still seeing like the modification screen of the Cleveland, right? Okay. Because I can see the little preview as well, but sometimes it just buffers weirdly. It's a bit of a delay on there. But yeah, like you just could take the VT shell whenever, but on Alaska there's arrows there. That's very annoying, because that means you have to go tool set FP, then maybe AP, or maybe get the AP first, but we'll get to that later. But then you have to go through all of that to get the VT shells. That's a pain. Also, speaking of AP shells, 614, like I'm just looking at the max value, right? 614,773. If we just compare to the Wyoming, yeah, more pen, which is to be expected, but way worse filler. And that's not too great, really. What is like British battleship AP? More filler, less pen, but again, that's to be expected. What's about, again, Kronstadt is probably the best comparison for it, because it is kind of its competitor. It has less pen and less filler than Kronstadt, because Kronstadt has just high velocity guns. Okay then. Yeah, the shell choice in Alaska doesn't look too good. Honestly, I don't think it's going to fare too well if it has to face Kronstadt. I really don't think it'll fare well at all. The armor is... it's the all or nothing armor scheme, isn't it? So it protects the citadel and pretty much nothing else. That looks of it. Not that there is anything else. Although you never know how they can place like a crew compartment there, a crew compartment here. Actually, protection analysis, because this changed as well, but we're not going to focus on it too much. Yeah, see, so there's a crew compartment outside of the armor scheme. That's already fun. And is there one at the rear as well? No. So there's no crew compartment at the rear. But there is one at the front. Weird. I cannot actually show you the Italian battleship because it is not in a dev server. Yeah, my stream is doing weird stuff. I am sorry for that. But I don't know what it is. Or why it does that. My streaming software should be doing fine. Again, I'm going to get all the ships in time. Let me just go one at a time. So Alaska, I think that's it really for Alaska. She doesn't look too good on first, first viewing. I don't know what to think of her really. What's the speed actually? I didn't check that. 52 kph, is this in realistic battles? I think it is. So 58, that's 60, 62, 63, 67? 67 kph is fine. For a battle cruiser, it's definitely fine. Because I think that's pretty much cruiser speed, isn't it? It's a bit faster than American cruisers by the looks of it. Yeah, that's a very nice speed then. Okay, so let me just take a look at what's next. You can actually bring the list up again. Magazine placement on the Alaska. I've already showed you earlier, but I'm going to just show you again. X-ray, it is... The magazines are here, just at the waterline. But because all the ships ride way too high, it should be just below the waterline, but in game it's going to be just at the waterline. I see the Alaska blowing up quite often. And that's the shell rooms as well, above waterline, so... I'm not thinking too positive about the survivability of Alaska. Especially with the fact that you have to basically show those magazines if you want to get the guns on target. It does get VT, again, I already showed it, it does get VT, but weirdly enough, you have to research the 2 previous shells for it. It's really, really strange. But again, that's enough for Alaska. I think it's a nice ship, but it's not going to dethrone Kronstadt, not by a long shot. But it is a very, very cool ship to get into your collection, I think. I was going to look at what's next. I kind of know what's already next, but I'm just going to go down the list as it is in the dev notes. We're going for Germany next. And since we're in Blue Water tab, let's look at the new cruiser. A World War I cruiser, Albing. Ooh, what's this? I'm really unfamiliar with the ships. I'm not too sure what to expect. 25mm guns. That's not the caliber. 2 in the front. So it's got a broadside of 4 guns, basically, from what I can see. Maybe depending on how the traverse rate is. Actually, I can test sail this one. But I'll get to test sailing later. 4.7. 4.7 light cruiser. Interesting. Speed 44 kph, that's quite slow. Armor 40 mil, that's 40mm turtleback. Nice. I actually have to find these 25s, where are they? Oh, there's these guns, they're actual like 10 rounds a minute. 6 second reload? Oof. That's not good. Yeah. Where does Alaska fall? It comes after the Pittsburgh. Compton. It comes after the Pittsburgh like we predicted. Again, I'm going to show all of the ships. Just give it some time. I'll get to it. and the VOD will be saved as well afterwards, and I'll do my best to actually chapter the VOD afterwards, so you can just skip to it to whatever ship you want to look at. Open casemates, of course, 7 rounds a minute is 8 seconds, I want to say. Not bad reload. It's a bit long. Torpedo tubes can they actually move, or are they fixed? Oh no, this can move. You can see the track. Good. Bit weird to have them default to the rear though. So it has 2 torpedoes. Does it get any torpedo reloads? It doesn't. Magazine is barely poking its head above the water, like where my cursor is the water line, so it's barely poking its head out of there. So I think you can... Ooh, the rear ammo rack though. The rear ammo rack seems very juicy. Armor, we already looked at that, is turtleback. It doesn't look too bad. It's something at least. Conning tower 75. Let's just take a vague look at what crew compartments are like. There's one there. There, basically, yeah. Not too special, but it does look like quite a neat little cruiser. I mean, why not? Again, I'm going to check it out. Just give me a second. The AA doesn't have their anti-air ammo. Now let's look at the modifications. Gets SAP, gets HE, SAP, and AP. A kilogram of TNT. Oh, I'm going to compare it to the Amden in just a second. Let me just look at all of this. Yeah, I'm going to check that out, Cringe. Again, all in fair time. Just give me a moment, okay? First, I'm going to go over all the new ships, and then I'm going to go down the list of changes. So 238 with almost a kilo, 95 of a kilo, 21. What's the Amden like? They're worse than Amden by a long shot. They're worse ammo types, worse explosive filler. I kind of see that thing actually underperforming quite badly then. If the ammo choice is that bad. Torpedoes are this. Pretty bad torpedoes. Not gonna lie, pretty bad torpedoes. Ah, it's 52. That makes more sense. Yeah, you wouldn't expect a 25mm gun to be like a cannon like that. Okay, that's funny. Let me test sail this thing though, to get a bit of a look at it.
Bordschützen suchen nach Zielen in der Luft und auf dem Wasser. Bordschützen suchen nach Zielen in der Luft.
Down the sound a little bit. Just do that in general. The reverse speed is... Let's just get these guns firing. Okay, and 4 guns can get on target. Long reload. 12 seconds reload is... Ooh. Bit long for a light cruiser. It's not firing anti-air because I have them both on. Hold on a sec. Go. No, I think my OBS is being weird. I know my OBS is being weird with streaming at the moment. I'm sorry about that. It's generally it's just my connection. I can't do anything about it. Let's see. Can I get the front gun firing like here? Yes. So you can actually get a 5-gun broadside firing. Which alright, makes it quite a bit better. But I still think those guns are kind of meh, looking at the shells. So it's a bit of a weird ship. A very strange ship. Because it's yeah, I kind of see it being a 4-7. It should be alright at a PR. Well, actually, I'll have to see when I actually get it though. I don't think it's 4-3. No, you really underestimate how bad 4-3 is. Like the matchmaking you get in 4-3 is almost exclusively destroyers. Really, 4-7 is you don't want cruisers lower than 4-7. Then Albing. Then we have a coastal vessel. I could have... Ah, it's a premium. Okay. What do we have here? 115 mil, 1 AA turret. Quite speedy. No armor, of course. Yikes. Good luck bow tanking anything of that. Yeah, that's... Oh boy. That you don't want to have that. You really don't. It's a low to premium, what can I really say about it? We'll get back to that later. Torpedoes. Alright speed, alright filler. Yeah, it's something. I don't really see the appeal of it. I personally wouldn't get it. Because they don't have a lineup at 1-3, they don't have any other 1-3 ships. A neat little boat, I guess. Let's just quickly go over that, I think. Then it's the Russians. And with 2 blue water ships. One being a premium. The... However the hell you pronounce that, and I'm not even going to try. What do we have? This? You know what this is? This is the... What's the premium Spokojny again? Oh, what's the premium called again? I keep forgetting it. But it's basically the other premium Spokojny. Although it has different rockets, doesn't it? The Nostroshimi, that's it. I think the Nostroshimi has the same rockets as the SKR, doesn't it? And this one has different rockets. I see it has rockets as well, but I think they're different. Of course, the other main feature about the Nostroshimi and this ship is that the 45s are different compared to the Spokojnys, different position. Spokojny has... I don't know, Spokojny has this direction as well. I thought that one of them had different layouts for the 45s. That might be Mr. Shimi still. Oh, I might be wrong then. But yeah, basically just a Mr. Shimi stand-in for some reason. What exact armor we don't really care about. X-ray. It's this class of ship again. We know how to kill it. It's the same thing. Nothing new. Modifications. Is that the same torpedo as the Spokojny? 18 kilometers, really? Hold on a sec. I don't believe that. No, it isn't. Ooh boy. Those are some torpedoes. That's an actual... That's range and speed is decent for torpedoes. The speed is a bit on the lower side. But that's still a decent speed for a torpedo. So this one might be a bit more torpedo focused compared to the others. RK-36. Otherwise same really. Don't really have to test drive that. But then there's the Kutuzov, and I do have that one. Can't test drive that because it's after Chapayev. Let's take a look at this thing. So Kutuzov. The special thing about this is the 2 AK-230s. For those that don't know, we have had this weapon system in game a while already on the PR-206. It's these guns. But then instead of the 2 turrets you have on this PR-206, you have 8 in total on Mikhail Kutuzov. Bunch of 37s, bunch of 100 mils. Then here, and here. So the cluster here and a cluster near the bridge. Shall we test sail this? I'll look at the survivability in just a bit. There is one thing I have to warn you about. The 30 mils sound absolutely horrendous when you fire them. Especially when you fire them manually. But I don't think they really provide anything too special anti-air wise. Of course they're close-in weapon systems, so they're very good at dealing with aircraft close-in. Let's see what we can do against these naval targets. Yeah, both of them are already out. That's the 100 mils. Oh, it's not too bad. I thought it would sound a bit worse. Yeah, they're interesting features, but it's just a part of the extensive anti-air suite of this ship. Like the 37s are excellent guns, especially in these numbers. The 100 mils are excellent as well. And I think like even without these AK-230s, the 37s alone would make up for it. So, but yeah, another cruiser, another 6.0 Soviet light cruiser. Let's take a look at the X-ray. Magazines are slightly above waterline by the looks of it. I think we should actually look at this in the hangar. We'll see it better. Of course, it's a nighttime hangar, but oh, well, we'll deal with that for the time being. Same guns as the Sverdlov. Armor. 100mm belt, 50mm upper belt. Is that the same on Sverdlov? I don't actually know. Yeah, it's the same armor. Okay. Kutuzov preview. Guns, I think it's just, yeah, it's just Sverdlov, but with enhanced today. I don't think there's anything much special about it. No, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted modifications. X-ray. Yeah, the peak just a bit above the waterline, I think, those magazines. The rear ones especially. The rear ones spoke up quite a bit. The modifications. Everything seems same. Yeah. Just an improved Sverdlov, I guess. I mean, I'm not going to complain about it. It gives you a full lineup. Chapayev, Sverdlov, Kutuzov. Nothing too special, but I will. Then next up we'll go to Britain. No, in the dev block for the Kutuzov, it's specifically a Sverdlov. It's specifically a development of the Sverdlov, not a Chapayev. But now, Britain. They have a new coastal ship. Just on its own, for some reason. HMS Arrow. HMAS Arrow. 40mm Bofors. And a single 50 cal. What's this thing? 27, 38 kph is not bad, but it is quite slow. Artillery support, nothing too, no special modifications. Really? 27. The ammo is kind of exposed, but it's behind a lot of ships. I don't think you'll get ammo that easily, although you will if you show broadside. I don't know why it's 2.7 though, because you have this, which is arguably much better, because Torpedo's 40mm. Like a single 50 cal at 2.7 is not going to be anti-air. It's just not going to be anti-air defense. So why is it 2.7? And why is it rank 4? Does it have a better DM? I need something with a bigger gun. Hold on. No, it's the standard coastal DM. I do like this new hit cam thing. So the speed stock is 38. With modifications that becomes 39. 41. 44. I'll try hit cam shenanigans later on, but I'll again later on. So 44 kph top speed is slow. I mean, I guess it's something. Yeah, I'll have to combat test it to actually see the full potential of the ship, but on first impression it doesn't look like much. And then we get onto a ship that I've really wanted for a long time. Hatsuharu. Hold on. The way I can make this day again is I'm just gonna not custom battle. Just gonna test sail it. Why not? And then it should be another time again in the hangar. Okay. So the interesting thing about this Hatsuharu, it's the early version of it. As you can see, it is quite a mess. And here is just 240 mils. No, it's not a copy of the Poi. It really isn't. Not in the slightest. So it has this weird frontal turret arrangement with like a single gun above a twin gun. It has whatever this torpedo layout is. Does carry a full torpedo reload though, so that's nice. Let's see the speed. Of course, it is a Japanese ship, so it will only get HE. Speed is nice, but I'm not sure if I'm actually doing this in realistic or not. This torpedo launcher right at the top, it feels so weird to me. Also, none of the torpedo launchers I think are in line. I'll have to check that in the hangar. But I really was looking forward to this destroyer. So I'm happy we got it. They're not the long lances, these torpedoes, they're the ones you see on Ayanami, I believe. So let me go back to hangar and actually take a good look. So, Hatsuharu. What is really to talk about? It's just Japanese guns. We all know the Japanese guns only have HE, which is trash at the moment. Sadly. The Type 90, is that the same torpedo as the Ayanami, or is it a different torpedo? Ayanami, modifications. It is the same torpedo as the Ayanami. That makes sense. What is the armor? None at all. X-ray. The ammo looks safe enough. But of course you have these massive groupings of torpedoes which can detonate you instantly. Especially if something managed to cook off these 40mm rounds. Trick, we're getting there, just give it a moment. But I love this ship purely because of the goofy gun layout. Like super firing turrets at the front, one single turret at the rear. It's a ship I really wanted. And it is here. It comes after the Yugumo. I don't really think it should be a 4-3. I think that's a bit wrong. Although, what's the speed? 57. 57 with, so that's 59. That's 62. 67. 67 kph is standard for Japanese destroyers. Actually pretty fast, so that's good. I don't think it's a filler, but it's... When it comes to Japanese destroyers, it's not a filler. I actually really wanted it. No, the 240 mils, you'd be surprised, but they don't really make good anti-air. And one thing I will definitely recommend, do not use the TF. Do not. Use the HE belts or the universal belts on the 40 mils. Do not use the TF belts because you're not going to kill anything. They don't have the splash damage. Any IGN DD with 2x2 forward turrets? No. The only Japanese destroyer with 2x2 forward turrets is the Akazuki. That I know of. Yeah, I think as well as somebody else said, Hatsuharu and Yugumo should probably be switched in places. BR-wise, 4.3 is not a deal breaker, but I don't really see why it should be 4.3. But it's fine. But yeah, a lovely destroyer that I was really hoping to see someday. And it's rank 2, so it was 18,000 RP or 14,000 RP. It's really not that much. Okay, and then 2 more. Or, well, 3 more technically, but we cannot see the third. 2 more at the moment for Italy. So 1 destroyer. I haven't actually looked at yet. Tone does not have scout planes because in its refit, the Tone we have nowadays, what am I saying? The Tone we have in the refit it's in did not carry scout planes. But yes, an Italian destroyer, another one. 44 kph, that's a bit slow. Anti-air 2 figures, some 30 mils. It's another Italian destroyer. I don't particularly mind Italian destroyers, but they can be a bit bad. Are those triple torpedo launchers? Yes, they are. They're triple launchers, but they're kind of stacked. Ammo rack below the waterline, that's always good to see. Of course, you do have torpedoes. Fire rate is 8 rounds a minute because it's Italian, why wouldn't it be? Yeah, nothing really to say. What is the modifications? It is the SI-270. Not a bad torpedo, because high speed, although the range is a bit bad. And I think, yeah, Italian torpedoes are one of the few you'd actually use torpedo mode on, but I'll have to actually see what that does. Anything else special? Not really. It's, again, Italian shells. These guns we should be familiar with, but yeah, another Italian destroyer, why not? It's a battle mode, okay. Yeah, I thought as much. Yeah, speed is somewhat worrying though, 44. Not protection analysis, so 44 kph with 45. That now goes to 48. 51 kph? That's quite slow for a destroyer. Quite slow for a destroyer. I think it's even slow for an Italian destroyer. Yeah, it is slow for an Italian destroyer. I definitely keep an eye on that then. They also have another coastal vessel, I guess, because I did see something in the list. Oh no, it's just the one ship, but the name is so long on my screen it becomes 2 lines. Never mind. But yeah, they also should have a new battleship. Don't know where it'll be, but I assume it'll be here. But there wasn't apparently it wasn't ready yet for this dev server, so we can't see it. We can't take a look at it yet. Then, what the other stuff? Is there anything else people want me to take a look at? Actually, that I said we were going to come back to later. BR changes I'm going to go over as well from this list. Just give me a moment so I can find them. BR changes. Let's start with that then, shall we? Here we go. So, I've already alluded to it with the Alaska. PT-15 Torps, get to that as well. Well, I'll get to it in a moment, okay? Alaska 7.0. So that means the Naval BR limit has raised to 7.0. However, there are also some BR changes that came with it. Some in the America too, like the Northampton going up from 5.0 to 5.3. I think that's deserved. The Northampton was quite strong at 5.0. But I think 5.3 will be fine for Northampton. Then we have the Mitchell and Wilkinson. These two going up to 4.7. So they're no longer 4.3, they're going up to 4.7. I'm not entirely sure if that's deserved, but I think it might be because they are quite strong ships. But then at the same time, you don't see that many of them. I'm not entirely sure if 4.7 was deserved for those ships. I don't think, like, I've seen quite a few Mitchers and I didn't really struggle against them. Same with the Wilkinsons. Because they're absolutely huge targets with quite vulnerable ammo racks. But I will. Then we have The Bayern and Scharnhorst moving up to 7-0 as well. Then we go to the Russians, where the PK and the Kronstadt move up to 7-0 as well as the Kerch, the premium Italian, like the Italian cruiser, but in the Russian tree. The Kerch goes to 5-3, and the Krasny Krim goes to 5-3 for some reason. Not entirely sure why it needs to go to 5-3, but oh well. Then Britain, we have the Hood and Marlborough both going to 7-0. The Dreadnought moving down to 6-3. That is going to be fun to actually spade these two together now. Might actually finally get my Hood if I can play these two at 6-3. We have Dido. Where is it? Dido moving down. No, up. Hold on. The notes say that the Dido is moving up to 5-3 from 5-0, but clearly that hasn't happened yet. And then we have Hawkins moving up to 5-3 in RB. Arethusa moving up to 5-3 in RB. And Liverpool moving up to 5-7 in realistic battles. I mean, okay, I don't really see why, but okay. Especially Arethusa, 5-3. Same BR to Leander is a bit stupid. Hawkins moving up to 5-3 is also okay. Dido is also moving up to 5-3, although that hasn't gone through yet. Dido is quite a good ship, 5-3. I really like BR changes are always difficult to really grasp their effect of, because you have to see in actual battles how it affects it. Because 7-0 is definitely going to become a new black hole for battleship players. It's very interesting to see how that's going to influence cruiser matches, like 5-7 cruisers. If they're going to be more like pure cruiser and cruiser matches now, or if they're going to still see a good mix of 6-7s. Then we go to Japan, where they move Hyuga and both of the Congos to 7-0. I can see it. I can see why. And then they move, Congo, that's it. Basically, they move these 3 to 7-0. I can see why. Same time, the Congos to 7-0 feels a bit weird. Oh well. And then again, they have better AI, A8 and Hyuga and better armor and so on. Yeah, those 3 at 7-0, I can see that. Then we have Italy. And this kind of slightly annoys me. But first we have Trento moving up to 5-3. Trento moves up to 5-3. Raimondo Montecuccoli moves up to 5-7. And the goddamn Savoia, again, is going to be a higher BR than its Russian counterpart. Also, why is that in... Oh, does it only go up into 5-3 in RB? So, hold on. The Kerch is only moving up to 5-3 in RB. But so is the Eugenia Savoia. Okay, then. Still, the Kerch is going to be a lower BR than the Italian... The exact same ship in Italy, for some reason. Just for some reason. Just, okay. List the new coastal ships. I can list them for you, sure. Does Italy have one? No. Japan doesn't have any. Britain has this, HMAS Arrow. Kind of nothing. Just a Bofors boat that's kind of slow. The Russians don't have a new coastal. The Germans have a new premium. Kind of meh as well. The Americans... There was a data mine ship for the Americans, but I'm not going to go over the data mine stuff. Yeah, at the moment we only have 2 new coastal ships. This German Premium and the British Arrow. For all I know. Let me just take a look. I didn't miss any questions. Nope. So I was at the BR changes, wasn't I, for Italy? But yeah, that's basically like Oop, somebody subscribed, thank you. And 2 people. I really don't understand, man, why these move up. There's also another thing coming in, but again, we'll get back to that later, because I'm going to have a rant about that one thing, but we'll get back to that later. What else is there for ships? Torpedoes on the PT-15 have changed. Because I do need to keep reminding myself to actually take a look at that. So, the torpedoes before were like almost a ton of TNT. What were the torpedo stats before? Cringe, I'm getting back. I'm going to get onto that later, and that's what I'm going to rant about, but I'm getting to that later. First, all just normal changes. What are they now? 120 kp. Damn. Okay. That's very, very fast torpedoes, but the explosive mass? That explosive mass is enough for destroyers, but you might need 2 or 3, like 2 or 3 torpedoes. But 120 kph, man, damn. That's a fast torpedo. 10-kilometer range, of course, still good. 120, that's not arcade speed, man. It isn't. Hold on, let me actually put them in my lineup right there. Let me put it in realistic, because it doesn't. No, that's realistic speed. 100. That means it goes twice that speed in arcade. In arcade, it'll go 360. Ooh. Actually, there's a torpedo mode, which gives me plus 10 kilometers and minus 10 meters a second. I need to calculate that, because I want to know if that's... The thing is, you'll never need 20 kph, 20 kilometer torps on a PT boat. You don't. What you want on a PT boat is fast torpedoes. Well, let me actually do a test sail. I'm gonna do it in realistic, because I want to see how that actually looks. I'll do a test in arcade as well to see how fast that is. Good eye launch. And that thing is just... Is that thing really going twice as fast as me at the moment? I think they might not have done the speed correctly, because I'm basically keeping up with it at the moment. Oh, there it goes. Now it's outspeeding me. Is it? I don't think they've done the speed... Ooh, nice explosion. New explosion effects. I don't think they've gotten the speed right yet. Because if this thing goes 120, it should be outspeeding me by quite a bit. I think that's not quite right yet. Well, what I've discussed now for the naval, like the update naval-wise, is all right. But there is one thing that is going to royally screw Blue Water Fleet stuff. But I'll get to that later again, because I'm gonna reserve a special bit of time for that. Okay. So, what is next? We have PT-15 torpedoes. Anything else we can think of? Because if not, I think it's going to be time for a rant. Because boy, oh boy... Oh, there is one thing that's apparently changed. Is the acquisition of ships through smoke has been fixed finally. So basically, as soon as you go behind smoke, you're unspotted. PJ2 no longer has an air radar, that's right. I think it still has a locking radar, but no longer has a search radar. But now... There is one change they've made. One change that I cannot agree with in the slightest. Are we all familiar with the plate mechanic for battleships? Like we know a plate on a battleship. If you hit it enough, it'll disintegrate, right? So if you do protection analysis, for example, you fire an AP shell at it, fire at the belt. The bit of armor disintegrates. We all know that, right? they've added that mechanic to every single, apparently, heavy cruiser. But that's the thing that annoys me. They've only done it to heavy cruisers. The thing is, right, why? Why do that to only heavy cruisers? That means, right, ships like, where is it, Japan, the Kako now has a plate mechanic. Surely. So that means if I fire AP at it, I fire it at the belt. Here's the belt. Oh look, the armor plate gets destroyed. It no longer has any armor there. So it just gets... They've basically nerfed the survivability of all and only heavy cruisers. So, stuff like the Kako, most of the Japanese blue water fleet, like Kako, Furutaka, Aoba, Tonai. The thing is then, right? Suzuya. Does Suzuya have it? Because she's identical to Megami, but she's not a heavy cruiser. So does she have the plate mechanic? She does. Okay, she does. I haven't actually taken a closer look yet, but the way it's worded on the dev notes makes me mad. So if Suzuya has it because it's the same hull, does Agano have it? Because they can't say heavy cruiser and just mean cruisers. Of course, Agano's a bit of a... No. Agano doesn't have it, by the looks of it. No. So, the funny thing... Yeah, Suzuya has it. Suzuya has it because it's the same hull, I assume it's Megami. So that's why Suzuya has it. But the funny thing is, can you guess which tech tree has no heavy cruisers at all? Which tech tree has absolutely zero heavy cruisers? But yeah. These are all, I think, classified as light cruisers. Yep. All of them. Yeah. So that means that the Americans, right? The Brooklyn, and the Brooklyn and the Helena, both quite tanky ships, don't have it. Baltimore will have destructible plates. Actually, let's take a look. Not on death sail, but at an X-ray. Does Baltimore have the destructible plates? Yep. So this just severely, royally screws up heavy cruiser survivability. But it leaves stuff like the 6.0 light cruisers completely untouched. And, well, I'll remind you again, like, Baltimore, right? What is the belt of the Baltimore? What actually is the belt thickness? 152 for like waterline stuff, but like 19 for most of the upper belt. Where's the Sverdlov again? Sverdlov preview. Oh look, 100mm belt. And can we destroy it with AP? Nope. Because why would you? This is stupid. Like either they add a plate mechanic to all cruisers, or they don't add it at all. Because this is just stupid. I don't see the logic behind it. Why only heavy cruisers? It's not like heavy. It's you go from light cruisers as 5.3 to 5.7 heavy cruisers, and that's it. You have a heavy cruisers from 4.7 to 6.0, and you have light cruisers from 4.7 to 6.0. So why only give it to heavy cruisers? Why? Oh. And again, I think you can knock out those plates with HE as well if they're heavy enough. So again, I'm going to take the Baltimore as an example. Faction analysis. Let's take some Arizona HE. And we'll write to the waterline here. Not quite. And they don't have the pen. The thing is still, you can knock out a plate. Oop, that entire bit of the belt is gone. There you go. The Mikuma has plates. Yes. No, I checked the Suzuya. Let me actually check the Mikuma. I keep mixing those two up. Mikuma, customization. Does she have the plates? She does. It doesn't matter if that's a 0 meter, just checking if she has the plate mechanic or not. Like, why? Why give it to only heavy cruisers? It doesn't make any sense, because you have some light cruisers with better armor than some heavy cruisers. And again, like, you know what's currently plaguing top tier RB? It's Helena's, a light cruiser. Sheleshnikov's, a light cruiser. Okay, then you have of course, the Eugen, which is a heavy cruiser, and the Mikuma, which is technically a light cruiser, but gets the plate mechanic anyways. So, why? Just why? So the Helenas aren't affected. The zombie Helenas aren't affected at all. The zombie Sheleshnikovs are not affected. Literally all of Russia is not affected. Germany? Hipper's going to be even more of a meme now, I guess. Like, why heavy cruisers? Because I just don't understand why you give a 4.7 like Kako with what is the belt? 76 millimeters. She has a plate mechanic, but then a light cruiser with a 100 millimeter belt does not have the plate mechanic. What sense does it make? And do you know? I have a bit like of a small idea of why this happened, right? I genuinely think that the zombie infestation of Helenas has so horribly screwed the stats for light cruisers in general that I think that an average light cruiser player cannot physically kill a heavy cruiser. I genuinely I'm starting to think that these zombies are having that kind of an impact. It is not. I don't think it's quite game breaking, but it's inconsistent. Because why are you? What the plate mechanic basically does is severely reduce the survivability of a ship in the long term. That's what the plate mechanic does. So why are you giving it to one ship at a BR bracket but not the other one? Because again, literally, you have heavy cruisers starting at 4.7, going all the way up to 6.0. But you also, now with Germany, have light, half of them the plate mechanic and half not. You're just ruining the survivability of a class that's already not performing well anymore since the HE meta and the fire rate meta. And you're just making them worse. I don't know how many of you have been in my Discord and been enjoying the Pola cult meme. But you can forget the legendary survivability of the Pola nowadays, because I guess he has a plate. Yeah, you see the thing being divided into several plates. So say goodbye to your tanky Pola, because her plates are going to get shredded. Just why? Like when they first introduced the plate mechanics, right? I saw it as, okay, it's a way to nerf this incredible survivability of battleships and battlecruisers. Fair enough. Fine. Nothing more needs to be done with that mechanic. Why? I can kind of understand them wanting to expand that mechanic to cruisers. But for the love of God, give it to all cruisers. Not just half of them. It doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't. And again, the heavy cruisers at the moment, I really don't think are performing well compared to light cruisers. Of course, it depends on cruisers and nations. But like the meta light cruisers, like Helena, the Sverdlovs, the Zheleznikovs, they're, I believe, outperforming the meta heavy cruisers. Of course, what is a meta heavy cruiser? I think Baltimore is one. Is Hipper one? I don't know. Pola is one, definitely. Also, like the British heavy cruisers, like London, let's take a look. Oh, look, a 90mm belt that's going to get shredded. They didn't have the best survivability to begin with, but now it's going to be gone as well. let's say we engage at like 8 kilometers, which is kind of short for cruisers, but yep, a single 8-inch sap shell annihilates a plate. Am I seeing that right? Yep. Let's take it to more like long-range engagements, which is like 11 kilometers. Yeah, just shredded it. Who cares? A single shell, there it goes. Gone. Of course, yeah, I'd agree. I prefer to have no cruisers with this mechanic, because I believed it was a mechanic purely to nerf battleships and battle cruisers. But like, what? Why? Why give it to half of the cruisers? 25 meter. Please, man. Please don't get... Oh, it has to... Like, because the armor plate is devised in multiple plates, I can tell she has a plate mechanic. Again, right? A 25mm belt has the plate mechanic. A 25mm belt has the plate mechanic. But the goddamn 100mm belt doesn't. Well, how does that make sense? How... On what plane of existence does that make sense? Actually, let me check if we can degrade it with a Bofors shell. Probably could. I'm baffled by their choice of making that change. Again, if they make it so that every cruiser has it, fine. Every cruiser has it, fine. But the fact that it only affects heavy cruisers is just... No, it's unfair. It's almost clearly biased. It doesn't make any sense why they only give it to heavy cruisers. The division between cruisers and battleships, battlecruisers, is clear. It's cruisers go to 6.0, battlecruisers and beyond go to 6.3 and beyond. Clear distinction. Clear distinction in matchmaking pools, clear distinction in battle rating, clear as hell. But heavy cruisers and light cruisers literally have the exact same BR brackets. But they're giving one a mechanic that reduces survivability and the other one don't. Why? Why? Just why? The thing is, I can 100% see them eventually adding the plate mechanic to light cruisers as well. But they should do it at the same time. Don't do it eventually, they do it at the same time, because it's going to heavily screw heavy cruisers over for like 2 patches. I can guarantee it. Yeah, I was going to do a 40mm Bofors, right? I'm just gonna select it, there we go. I think they actually said something about you need a certain caliber to actually degrade the... Hold on, let me check again. Yes, you need at least a 100mm gun in order to damage the plates. Shall I tell you what has at least a 100mm gun? This. The entire Blue Water fleet, every single ship in the Blue Water fleet has at least a 100mm gun. So have fun. You know what's going to be even more fun? And I will heavily recommend you play it. I heavily recommend you play it the next update. Really, do it. Play the Atlanta, play it with SAP, and see how many heavy cruisers you can melt. It's going to be nuts. Like, you don't... do you need even to fully pen a plate to degrade it? Like, if we take... You know what, let me test it. If we take a Baltimore again, because why not? Not modification, come on. Customization. Action analysis. And we take an 5-inch SP comment shell. We go all the way to, like, Atlanta ranges. Okay, I think I might have been too pessimistic, but I think you can't do quite that. Of course, the upper belt is weaker on the Baltimore, so you can just break that. I don't understand, man. I do not understand why they... Like, again, fine if they do it to all cruisers. Genuinely, fine. Okay. It'll happen. But only heavy cruisers makes no sense. It really doesn't. So we go armor again, because I think the 114mm won't work because it's just HE. But I can try. What BR is the thing again? Is it rank 2? It is, okay. It'll damage the upper plates. I don't think it will damage that main belt, no. But it will damage the upper plates. Because HE does have a lesser effect on plate mechanics, but still, man, it gives me a headache. It genuinely does. Why only heavy cruisers? Just why? Like the Kako, right? Where is it again? This thing was quite tanky, I think. But now you're just going to have destroyers eat you alive. Like if you, let's say if you angle with the Kako, right? You angle kind of like this. You get protection analysis and you're fighting a destroyer. You somehow got close, you're fighting them 5 kilometers away. Let's say it's American, because why not? A gearing, sure. And I'll fire the battleship. Ricochets, okay, that's good. But if it doesn't pan, it can't damage. Okay. Of course, if it's broadside on. But it needs to actually pan to damage it. That's good. Okay. Because I could have sworn that even with, like, if you didn't fully pan, you'd still damage it, but I guess that's not the case for these plates. Hold on. It all depends on the angling now, I guess. That's if you're not careful enough in something like this, you'll get shredded. You really will. It's just crazy. Oh well. Is there anything else naval related now that I can think of it? Because if we're done with the naval stuff, I am up to look at the other stuff on the dev server if anybody wants me to look at anything. Even if it's just like looking at the stats on the dev server. But I think that's it for naval stuff. Yes, I'm going to, you know what? Good, I'm going to play around with that because it is something I wanted to try. Hold on. Where is this tank? L3, preview, protection analysis. Oh, we can't do ships in this, can we? Damn. I thought we used to be able to. But oh well, if we just go Britain, we go rank 4, I believe it is, and then we go 4005, Shah L1. I can't quite see it because it's too small, probably. Oh yeah, I'll try and detonate something. Ikoma, where is it again? Ikoma has already been quite a nice ship. Although, yeah, now it's going to be fully out of the top tier bracket. It might be interesting. I think 5-7 as a whole might be an interesting BR to take a look at again. But I'm going to look at that when the update actually goes live. Let me take a small boat. Or a small-ish boat. Protection analysis, and we'll take a battleship, because why not? Kind of want to have something with HE though, so I might just take the Marlborough. Yeah, that just... I do like this new animation, because it's just neat. But well, let me get a battleship. Let me get a... do I get a British battleship or... Congo? I want to see if I can actually Yeah, if you play a heavy cruiser. I don't have a crunch dot. I'll tassel this is here. And see if I can detonate something. Because I have changed the explosion effects. I do kind of like those explosion effects with the bits just falling off of it. Those are the rear guns. Also something of note, you can actually see how much crew you take off per salvo now. I've got to know that in the Discord. Yeah, you can actually see how much crew you take off in one salvo. There's the explosion, very nice, and of course it doesn't tell anymore. Yeah, very nice explosion. Let me shoot at this Omaha. I do like the explosions. They look very cool. Let's see if it pops up. Yeah, 51 it said there. So it'll tell you how much crew you're actually taking off per salvo, which is neat. Let's see if we can actually detonate the Omaha. Also, there should be like a new flame kind of effect when you hit something. Like a shell hole effect, but of course you can't really see it on the target you're shooting. Probably better if you're the one being shot at. You know what I should enable? I should enable the shell cam, but let's just see if this detonates it. Yep. Let me see if I can do a shell cam. Where is it again? Is it in options? Probably is, isn't it? No, where is it? Oh, I don't already have it enabled. Okay. But didn't. Still can't quite see what I'm trying to show. You could kind of see a little fire there for a second. I'm getting close to the ammo store there. I think it's going to keep taking me a few more salvos. And there it goes. Cool explosion. Does it explode again? Doesn't look like it. Now, does my ship explode in that kind of fashion as well if I J out? Yes! That's cool to see. Anything else we can think of? I've actually test drive a British ship that we have the I should have taken. God damn it. For some reason I have only HE on Norfolk. Hanger. Yes, I'll do baby HE versus A. I'll get my British BB for that. Colossus. Test sail. Because I believe the British have an Eugen on their test sail.
Gunners are searching for airborne and surface targets.
I really want this gunner's firing.
Gunners are searching for surface
There it is. I'm just gonna fire at the middle of the ship, trying to break plates, see what happens. And just wait for all of these turrets to turn around. Yes, you did. Actually, now that I think of it, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you always got a X-ray from secondary. I'm really not sure. That did not break any plates, which is damaged them, but not also get quite high. Let me just lower it a bit.
Threat in the air. Enemy ship on fire.
I broke a plate. I think I broke a plate there, didn't I?
In the air.
Or is it a crew compartment? Can't tell. Let's just wait on the reload cycle.
Aircraft.
Really think I'm breaking... Actually, did I break the plate before I broke the torpedo protection? Is that what happened? Because it kind of looks like that, to my eyes. I'll do one more salvo when I go back to hangar. Sorry about that.
Enemy ship on fire.
Yeah, you can break plates with this. That's definitely a broken plate. Yeah, it just... I'm not a fan of that idea. I'm not a fan of only giving heavy cruiser the plate mechanic. It's just absurd. We'll leave it at that, I think. Anything else I need to think of? Yeah, they've said that we don't have Andrea Doria yet. They've also said there's quite a few other vehicles that weren't quite ready yet. I think that's what they said on the English stream. Of course, I think Andrea Doria is the only other ship. No. Actually, no, there is one more ship, isn't there? The Cyclone. It was in a data mine. But we're going to see about that ship, well, when it gets to it. Was there another ship that was in that data mine that we don't have here? Don't think there was. So, anything else we want to see at the moment? Like, anything, not like even not naval related, anything you want to see the stats of. Because if not, I kind of want to try and see if we can get one of those total detonations in tanks on a test drive. Actually, now that I think of it, do I have a light tank where I can get the UAV on with the limped G that I have? Army. No, this one. Let's see. Nope. Wait, I saw this much really. These things are always so expensive. I'll show the new German light cruiser again, sure. It was here. I will say it does look kind of bad, because the shells especially, the shells are not the best. I think it'll suffice against destroyers, but it's kind of low rate of fire. And like, if you compare these shells, right, the sap you want to know for destroyer fighting. So 1 kilogram of TNT, 95 mils of pen. If you go compare that to the Emden, its sap has 3 kilograms of TNT and 140 mils of pen. So the shells are considerably worse. And I'll actually test drive it to show you. Cleveland doesn't because it's a light cruiser. But I'll double check again after this test drive. Turret reverse is slow. You can get the wing turret here at the front to angle a bit, so you can get a 5-gun broadside.
Flugzeuge.
Alaska's reload time I can't really check personally, but I do know the shortest you'll get the reload time for Alaska is 24-25 seconds. Yeah, this is the Albing. It's a bit slow as well. Quite slow for a cruiser. Yeah. I mean, it's a 4-7 cruiser. It's not going to be too good at anything really. Does the new Italian destroyer have radar? Probably not. I'll double check, but probably not. Alaska's reload was 24 seconds. Does Cleveland get the plates? It shouldn't. It doesn't, because if the ship has plate mechanics, the plates are actually like cut up. Let me show you. If a ship has the plate mechanic, the plates are actually like, you can see it's divided in the plates they actually have. Like if it doesn't have the plate mechanic, this would just be one stretch of 152mm armor, and now it's just 3. And then was it the... This thing shouldn't have radar. I don't see any radar on it, so no, it doesn't get radar. I'm actually test it because I didn't do that. Again, if there's anything else you want to see, be sure to ask. But I think we've gone over all of the ships at the moment. Standard 10-second reload. I do love the explosions for PT boats. Turret reverse is pretty speedy, but that's standard for the Italians. Those explosions are nice. Shall I do a quick fire opinion on all the new ships? Let's just do a quick fire opinion. So Alaska, meh. The shell, like, okay ship, okay, very nice speed. I just don't think it has the firepower to compete with the current meta. I don't think it has the firepower. Albing looks kind of bad, but I think she'll do fine at 4-7. Then you have the KM5, weird, but otherwise fine boat. But speed is meh, bit slow. 1-3, 1-3 is a bit bad because you don't have any lineups for Germany with it. Realistic. But the armament isn't really that bad. Then the Russians with Mikhail Kutuzov is just a Sverdlov, but with better AA. It's really not that special. It doesn't have torpedoes. But it's, yeah, sure it has sea whiz, so to speak, but it doesn't change anything. It doesn't change anything in like how the anti-air works. It's just, yeah, improved anti-air. Then Great Britain has a new coastal vessel, the HMAS Arrow. Only has a single Bofors gun. I don't know why it's 2.7. It could easily fit at 2.3 in my opinion. Though I don't entirely know what the survivability of it will be like. Otherwise, also pretty meh. It's nothing special. Japan gets the Hatsuharu, a new destroyer. I was really looking forward to actually getting this destroyer. It was one of the destroyers on my wish list for Japan. But it's, I think, performance-wise, incredibly similar to Ayanami. Of course, different gun layout. Same torps. Other than that, yeah, it's just that. It is quite fast though. I think with all the mods it goes up to 67 kph, which is one of the faster Japanese destroyers. Of course, forgetting about the Shimakaze. So I'm looking forward to it, but it's a Japanese destroyer. HE only just ruins them really. But I'm looking forward to it. Italy has a new destroyer. It's another Italian destroyer. Nothing too special. It does have 6 guns. It is quite slow. 44 kph is slow, in my opinion. I think it only goes up to 51 kph spaded. So again, pretty mediocre. There's no real ship this update that I think defines it on the naval aspect. Like, I don't think there's any meta-changing ships currently on the dev server. Of course, there's a bunch of BR changes, but well, have they changed it? I didn't actually see it in the patch. Have they actually changed the T-51B? They have not. It's oh, they have. They actually have. They haven't changed the image. Oh, that completely escaped me. I didn't actually see it in the notes. Nice. This still doesn't look right. This still does not look right from what I've seen of the T-51B, but that is a definite improvement. I didn't see it in the patch notes though that they changed this thing. Now you have 2 forward-firing 25s. Which should really improve the performance of this boat. Because now you don't have to like awkwardly angle to get the rear gun on target. The T-51A is now basically what the T-51B used to be with the dual mount. The T-51A is still the same. It's just that after adding the T-51A, they realized that T-51B is wrong. But yeah. I can show the SU-2217. Yes, I think that's all for naval. Is it the Russian one you're talking about? Let me see. Because I don't think is there anything new for them? Oh, they get the engine fire system as well now. Let me just take the patch notes up again. Again, if there's anything specific you want me to check, do tell me. Because I really don't know what's changed about it just because, well, I don't have them. Is that new? That looks weird. Ah, I see. I'm at the part now in the dev notes where they moved some around. SU-22. Probably this one then. Again, I'll just open the modifications window. And the SU-22 UM3K, is it German? Yes, it is. That's quite a wide modification tab now. Jeez. But I hope that helped you then for looking at the modification windows. And yeah, the SU-25. Actually, I can test drive an SU-25 because there's a premium one. So let me, I kind of want to do that. Can I make a, I can't make a loaded, can I? Can I? I could do that. So if I do test flights, I can't make a new one now. Yeah, there is something I wanted to test though, and that's the like dropping of weapons. Actually, I haven't tested. I'm not gonna fly that because I've never actually flown anything with napalm. I'll double check if the Brooklyn has armor after this. Let me just. The thing is, there was a. Oh, where is it though? Because on the dev streams they showed off where you could like drop your weapon pods, and I'm not quite sure where it would be. Would it be miscellaneous? No. God, there's so many controls now. Have I just do drop? Nope. I don't know if it's actually active in the dev server yet, that option. But I kind of want to just look through it if it is. Jettison, let me... Yep, doesn't come up. Now if it's full real controls, does something come up? Yep. Nope. Just looking for it. Although I can always just try looking in the mechanization menu. I think I'll just do that and just take off. Let's first get airborne actually. There we go. And so would it be in mechanization? No, I think it's just not in this dev server yet. Nah, it's not going to be in the dev server yet. Oh well. Eventually. Oh. I'll just leave it as really for jets because I really don't know anything about jets. I'll quickly check the Brooklyn armor. But I don't think she has the armor plate mechanic. Does she? No, she doesn't. She doesn't. Not for me at least. Nope, Brooklyn does not have the armor plate mechanic. Does Helena have the armor plate mechanic? Nope, because they're light cruisers. Shall we test some of those explosions on tanks? What would be best? Kind of thinking of like the HE of the Type 75 might do a catastrophic detonation. Let's see if we can get a big explosion out of this guy. If we can, of course, kill it, which we can't by just shooting the side. So let's shoot the missile. It needs to be an Amarak. Let me get something with APDSFS. And let's like detonate one of the Russian tanks. I'd get a type 90. Because surely that will do it. That'll detonate one of them. Cook off. Will we see an explosion? I have read that, Scout, I have read it, but again, I'm not really a tank player, so I wouldn't know too much about that stuff. There's an explosion. Nothing too fancy. That's a catastrophic explosion, jeez. Let's see if I can repeat that. And yeah, what the catastrophic explosion does, it just removes the tank. It no longer exists. Which is quite funny. There's another. Let me see if I can do it in third person. I said that's not a catastrophic one. Also the new hole burning thing there. That's one. Big ol' explosion. Also, the wheels that pop off actually pop off from the model, so let's see if I can get a detonation that isn't catastrophic, but still blows some wheels off. Yeah, see, like one of the wheels, that wheel is actually gone from the model, which is quite cool. Can I do it on this tank again? So closer to it. Ammunition is like there-ish. Two wheels gone. And they're actually gone. That's kind of neat. Two wheels gone on that side as well. So yeah, this is cool. Is there anything else I can really test that I care for testing? Something about the PGO2's radar being weird. Let's actually check that. It no longer has an air search radar, which is a bit of a shame. Focus on the target. Fine. Still gets the lead. I have the autogun mod enabled on this server for some reason. That's too much lead. Okay. Okay, that might be a good way to see if I can get a fuel explosion. That. Now, where are the fuel tanks on the Catalina? Something, I guess. I think those fuel explosions are not really something you can just bring forth in test environments. Unless it's like a parked plane you can shoot at. But I think that's really all I have to show on this dev server. Unless there's somebody wants to see anything about any other new vehicles. What's the lowest? Actually, let me see. What's the plane with the lowest BR EFS? 1. Where's the B61 again? Am I being blind? There it is. EFS. And which B17? All of them, right? I think I might have a B17 I could then... I don't have enough G to buy it anyways. I don't think they changed smoke screens, but they did change it for Naval, how they, the spotting through smoke has changed for Naval that I know of. Let's actually see if they changed anything about smoke screens, because I don't think they changed anything. Then again, I haven't actually really read the notes beyond just whatever it is for Naval. I can't immediately see anything about smoke screens. Oh, hold on. Yeah, they have changed something about smoke screens. Let me get a tank that I know has smoke on it. Tanks, not ships. This has smoke, so let me just drive it. Apparently it says that smoke screens are bigger and more performance costing than they should be. Oh, they do look new. Look at that. Takes a little bit of time for them to actually deploy as well. Cool. Very cool. Let me just see if there's anything else. But I think that's it, really. Bit of a shame I can't really test drive any of the Recon drones because I don't have them. And I don't have the G to unlock them. So yeah. Anything else? Don't think so. Again, unless there's any stats somebody wants me to look at for any planes, tanks, ships, I think I'll have to leave it at this for today. Oh, that might actually be a good idea. Thank you for suggesting it. A premium light tank. Do the Germans have one? I think they do. Yes. Very, very good idea to actually do that. So let's see. The thing is, since I'm a naval player, it's pretty much just a naval recon drone, like the recon plane for naval. It flies the same, it acts the same. You do have a different vision through it, of course. But other than that, it's pretty much the same. Also, damn jet engines, man. Quiet. Too loud. So, hold you. There we go. Let's see if we can actually climb a bit. But yeah, there's little things. You do have a fuel counter. Which is interesting. My tank's over there. So do actually have, like, what is the stabilization for that thing called? Is that? No, here's the one. Just add. I think F. Add. Surely that won't be conflicting, right? Let me just fly over. Stabilize the drone. That will be conflicting. Okay, never mind. Scroll down. We just remove that one. There we go. Now we're stable. Is there anything we could see here? Yep, you do have a limit. This thing is just like 90 degrees everywhere. So if you want to actually look at something, it has to be in the frontal arc. Can go quite high up though. Turns really fast. And reduce throttle, so too fast. There you see. Does this thing have thermals? It probably doesn't. I don't think any of the premium ones will have thermals on them. Although they do have a button bound for thermals. Is it NVD? Yeah. So button. Sure, I don't care, that sort of stuff. It does not get a thermal. This one doesn't, at least. Yeah, you can like reduce throttle to basically increase the time you're above a target. Kind of not the greatest field of view, to be honest. Even from this altitude. Better off just looking normally. Go off. Let's see if there's like a really high tier premium lighting that might have it. Because that was just attempt to see, which is attempt to IP, which is not the highest BR. The Russians have a high BR light tank premium. Does the BMP have one? It does. Nice. Rocket is 8.7 again, so that's probably not going to be any different. Japanese don't have anything like that. 8.3, so that's probably not going to be any better either. I'll come back to the 9.0. Let's just see if there's anything higher. There probably isn't. 9.3 for the Swedes. Does it have a drone? It does. And it also gets NVDs itself. So let's try that one. Let's try the new Swedish one. Just wait for the drone to load. And off we go. Let's reduce the speed a bit. It does not get the thermals. I'm pressing the button for NVD. It does not get thermals. The thing is, like, genuinely with like the top of the top light tanks, right? Look at rank 7s will probably get it. Because there isn't any rank 7 premium. Can't really test it. Like, this one will most likely have thermals on it. Maybe even this one already. You know, stuff like the HSTVL. Time to see is rank 7, so it might... I'm guessing that, like, the end of the line light tanks will have it. But none that I can test. Anything else? I don't think there's much else interesting. Yeah, there's no mention in the dev notes of the jettison thing. The Predator drone, everyone gets one. I think it's just a certain BR and above, actually. If I play a Japan top tier match, I probably could get one. The thing is, like, everybody gets the American drone, then China gets their drone and Russia gets their drone, or as far as I know. We can try it, because, like, dev server matches are different. I'll see if we can actually get it to this BR. You know what I actually should do? I should get the my Type 16, play that BR, and see if it gets a thermal drone, because it's the only UAV I have to research. It might get thermals, that one, and then yep, the battle. Yes, it is Viking. Yes, it is. I don't see the drone, but I'm quite suspicious of that thing, because I don't have it in my lineup. Why do I have the... Oh, it's because it's that sort of stuff, probably. There is no drone here, though. Might be for later on in the dev server. Well, I guess we'll just try and get some RP for this thing. Maybe get a drone of thermals. I hope for the plate mechanic for cruisers it either goes live for all cruisers or it doesn't go live at all. But it going live for only heavy cruisers is stupid. Like, it's just blatantly stupid. Probably going to die instantly because I don't know how dev server battles go. Oh well. Let's see. Helicopter? I thought I heard a helicopter. I keep forgetting I'm actually playing RB, so I'm never going to get a marker for an enemy gets close. And now we just drive into the enemy spawn and kill their AIs, I guess.
captured, we have the advantage.
Look, I'm looking where our AI tanks are and thinking how the enemy tanks are going to probably roughly the same position. But I absolutely do not see them. Oh, they are there, are they? Okay. Something right in front of me. And left listing all the kills. I was expecting the enemy AI tanks to be further down the map, really. I should probably just stick to the spawn, because yeah, they're going to be respawning here. That's the dirt.
Enemy forces have captured that zone.
And I got killed by an AI. Because I was way too slow. Oh well. Kinda wonder if we're going to see an aircraft coming up at some point. The thing is that one cap that I got of Type 16 was quite a bit of RP, I think. So if we just end this battle, I might get at least a bit of enough RP to actually just buy the module outright with the remaining G I have. Should be fine. Man, don't get stuck. There we go. Just crush the wall at least. Don't like the fact there's an enemy on A. I don't want to deal with that at all. Too early. I am a horrible driver when it comes to tanks, don't touch me. SU-25 already, nice. Well, Desert has been up for what now, 3 hours-ish? Yep. Yeah, that's AIs won't have mercy. AIs really won't have mercy, that's a bit of a problem. It's about to bleed out. It's fine. There's a plane somewhere.
Allied forces have captured a zone.
Don't see him though. And that's game over as well anyways, isn't it? Yeah. Although our tickets are at 160. And right. Yeah, the Albing looks kind of cool. It's just, I don't really think it's going to be much good. It's a neat little cruiser, I guess, but I don't see the allure of it really. Okay, that's good. I can definitely just cheat the rest of that and see if it gets thermals. There we go. Now if I test drive it. UAV and see if it has thermals. Also, I think, so I'm gonna put my turret this way, right? But I think the UAV launches hull front. So it doesn't matter where you look, it's towards the, yeah, it's hull front that it launches. So that's a good thing to take in mind. Let me just slow down a bit. Nope. It's a bit weird to fly, I must admit. Okay. Do I have thermals? I have thermals, this thing. I still think it's a bit... like the field of view is narrow on this thing, I find. You can't see a lot of the battlefield. Unless you probably go really high. But have fun climbing for ages whilst your tank is just sitting there. I think actually if I point it up like this and go back in my tank, just keep climbing. If I can actually see the thing. There it is. It doesn't keep climbing, does it? No, it just levels off. So it is incredibly similar to how the boat planes for ships work really. They just level off at whatever altitude they are. But if I just keep climbing. Keep on climbing. Like, I'd say that I'm pretty far away from the battlefield. Okay. That's a bit better, I think, for scouting. Especially with thermals. And especially if I just slow down. Let's stay over the battlefield for longer. And this is, I think, better for if you actually want to try and spot targets. Almost stalling out, but we're still fine. Yeah, okay. I think it's like 50 kph you order for. Yeah, let me just throttle up again. We get some proper airflow over here. Okay. I checked the trick, it's not right. Brooklyn does not have the plates. I already checked that, it does not have the plates. I don't know what that person is smoking, but Brooklyn does not have the plates. They might have mistaken the fuel tanks going away for plates, but yeah, it doesn't have plates. Not the, well, plate mechanic. Excuse me. Like, this is basically the same thing as I have with Recon planes and Naval. Why use this and leave your, like, my tank is still like, where is it? Hold on. I'm like right above it. My tank is just sitting there, doing absolutely nothing. Why use it? I think, like, it's useful for, like, you're sitting behind a hill, you don't know what's around it, just yeet it out there, see what's behind the hill. I can see that. I can see it, like, being useful for, like, a split-second recon. Really, like, reconning it... If you're... This I have heard during the dev stream. If you're, like, playing in a 4-man squad, and you have one person, a dedicated eye in the sky, I think you can do quite a lot. Because the squad ping apparently does still work. You can't actually spot people with the recon drones, but the squad ping does work. So you can still, like, mark targets for your squad. But other than that, I mean, it's a bit of a niche, really, because, yeah, my tank is just there, doing absolutely nothing. That's something I've also seen. I think people said there was, like, a way to range targets. I don't know. I don't think these things have rangefinders, so no. But yeah, it's a feature that exists, and I don't think it's really going to be game changing. Although I see some use out of it for, like, coordinated squads, or maybe even on the squadron battle side of things. But that kind of sounds a bit. I don't know how squadron battles really work. But yeah, that's something. Of course, you can switch it off. Yeah, it really does help with spotting, especially from altitude. That's a big boom. I do like the new explosion effects, and as somebody said, the smoke looks different now as well. Look at the smoke effects. They look a bit different. I think it looks quite... I think that looks better than just the white blob we have now that's smoke. Okay. I think that's all I really wanted to take a look at. If there's anything else people can think of before I sign out, I think I'll leave it at that, really. Another Japanese tank I have to get someday. Ugh. And I wasn't able to test the strike drone yet because it wasn't in here in these matches. Yeah. I'll probably have to test it in the actual game if I really care. I think I'll leave it at that. If, yeah, I don't have anything else to add. Didn't think anything else really came up. Let me just check my Discord again. See if nothing new popped up. Do I have any pings? Nope. I think that's it, really. Yeah. I'll leave it at this for today. I'm unsure if I'm going to make videos on this. Yeah, I'm going to try what I wanted to do last update, and actually make a video as the update goes live, because then everything will be final. And I'll actually try and do that this update. Other than that, yeah, I think that's it, really. If there's anything major out there, I'll probably just make a post about it. Because I think at most we're going to see 2 more ships. But it isn't really important enough to stream. And I'll leave it here for today. Thank you for watching. And yeah, let's just find out how fucked Naval is going to be in the next update. I'll see you soon.